Ta-da!
Ta-da! Ta-da! All
We are
right.
here.
We are here. Actually, I am just gonna share again to remind here our friends on Facebook that we are live right now. So, would you like to go ahead, my dearly beloved
Yes.
sister, and introduce our session?
Yes.
Okay.
Welcome to Discovering the Magic. And the question is, what is magic for you? Is it pulling a quarter out of someone's ear? Is it pulling a rabbit out of a hat? Or is it being in the moment with a
Hmm.
blank page, with no idea of where your life is going because you trust so infinitely? Now, I know that's a big ask. That's a big ask of me. Tanya can even confirm that. But the more that I surrender and I allow, the bigger this journey gets. So I'm going to share with you something funny that I've been going through. So I work with this young woman. She's 49. She's young to me. Um, at the bank that I work at. And last Monday, her mother in law passed quite suddenly. And her mother in law came to me and said, I need you to talk to her and my son. I have
Oh,
some
wow.
things I have to tell her. Now, this woman isn't real keen on this stuff that I do, this spiritual stuff. She says, I hope you don't mind. I'm not going to read your book. And I go, I'm okay with that. So yesterday I went to work and it was the first day she was back. And I said to her, I need to speak to you because she is coming to me. I'm not going to use the woman's name. And she really needs to speak to you. She died so suddenly. She has some unresolved things to talk to you about. And my coworker looked at me and goes, oh, so now you're a medium? And I said, no, I just been this way my whole life. So she's been texting me. She's testing me to see if really her mother-in-law is here. Now she loves her mother-in-law to pieces. It's been her mother. And I have been having this woman with me going, I really need to talk to him. I really need to talk to him. And I've been saying, I understand, but you know how your daughter in law is. Let's take this slow. And so this morning, as I was making my breakfast, I was noticing because my friend sent me a text and goes, so she reads this one book every year. What's the title? So I'm being tested. And I'm getting from the woman who crossed over, I'm going to ask you to invite her to open her heart and not ask me to pass a test. So I'm learning how to be in this moment of odd experience because I've never done this before. Yes, I've spoken to people passed over all the time. That's no big deal. I did it yesterday with somebody else. But I've never been, the go between somebody, especially who's a doubter, and the person on the other side. And just because they pass, their personality doesn't change. They're still who they are. So this is part of the magic. Can I trust this experience that I'm going to have later today with this woman? She says her husband couldn't handle it, so it'll be just between her and I, which will probably be easier. But I really have no idea how this is going to pan out. Well, how is it going to be? Am I going to lose a friendship with this woman? Is she going to treat me oddly from now on? I don't know, but I have to be who I am. And I love this woman. I knew her that passed. I didn't know her really well, but I knew her. So it's an adventure of discovery. Can I be this authentic me, whatever that is in any given moment? Because I'm not always on. I wake up in the morning and my hair's standing on end, literally. This is looking good this morning. I mean, I have my green necklace on because today's a 4. So that's the heart chakra. But part of the magic is letting go so completely that I take a breath. And when my mind says, yes, but hurry up, I need to have a definite answer for this. And I take a breath and I just let that thought go. That's letting the magic happen. And that's the breath session that you did about playing on this earth. It's called, because I found it, Playing in the New Earth.
Yeah.
I
It's
found it
on my app on the monthly
Treasures, Jules
Yeah,
Treasure.
Yeah.
It's profound. And that's it exactly, because we as human beings like the idea of control. We want to manipulate our lives so that we feel safe. But what that creates is more fear. It's in the surrendering and the letting go. It's feeling the physicality, the strength of who we are as individuals. Being a soul human, a divine being, is very different than what I thought it was. And with that, Tanya, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Right. Okay. So I do have a few things to share and add in this flow of ours. Oh, one thing is to just invite everyone to really allow this that you have shared to sink in, because they're not just words. What we're sharing here, and that is part of the magic always, are not just words. So if everyone out there that is joining today could step out of the understanding, step out of having to have an idea about what we are sharing in this moment, and just allow the energies, the consciousness that the energies have brought about, and the energies that the consciousness has provided, because it's a circle. Here on earth, consciousness moves energy and energy serves consciousness. So it's a circle. It's not like there's one that's more important than the other. And the reason why I'm underlining this is that, sometimes we get caught up in the details of knowing why a certain thing is that way, or how this works in a spiritual context, or what comes first, or how should I be doing this, or whatever. And then it just gets a whole mental, I don't know, such a confusion, a chaos, that it just muddles up this natural trust that is intrinsic. We are naturally trusting. And just look around you, people are so gullible, really, in general. We are easily fooled as a species. Humanity is easy to fool. And so it's not to say that trusting is being easily fooled. It's saying that intrinsic to our nature is trust. So first we trust, and then everything else. But of course, we become accustomed to doubting because of all of the experiences we've had as human beings throughout our eras here on Earth. But still, even so, the trust usually comes forward first. And then the mind kicks in and brings in all of the reasons why not to trust. But the thing is, your intuition is the only thing that can really be trusted. So
Yes.
if we start putting barriers towards trusting our intuition, then we really mix ourselves up. And regarding what you shared about the lady that passed, It's interesting because recently I also had a similar experience. I've had some experiences like that where I've been asked to help that soul go further so that they don't stay stuck here in that personality. So the thing is, when a soul makes the transition, they're still very earthbound. So it's just they're there, they just don't have a body, but it's the same person. And if they have things to say and that stuff that's unresolved, and if the people that are on this side are not letting go, or not really accepting the passing and all of that, that soul stays earthbound for longer periods of time, sometimes very long periods of time. And of course, helping with the transition, because I am in human form. So there are beings that help with transitions. That's their only purpose. That's the only thing they do. But because one of us being in human form is more easily recognized by the soul that has transitioned. So I've been asked to do that time and again. And sometimes I'm asked to, please tell so and so this and that. And then I start rolling my eyes. But, and so recently, a friend, my daughter's best friend's dad passed away, and so that was a really, really shocking event for everyone, especially because he was only 50, in his early 50s. And it was sudden. So he just had some sort of a heart failure and
Mhm.
died during the night next to his wife. So it was a bit of a shocking thing. Anyway, interestingly enough, of course, because I also knew this person, and I know the family, and the young man who is my daughter's best friend, is also someone I really love relating to and all that. And so he came to me, or it came to me for me to go to him. And so it was interesting, really interesting, because in this case, he immediately went into freedom. He didn't. He sort of, when he passed, is like, oh wow, wow, I'm free. What is
Yes.
this? And so he was no longer in that kind of, oh yeah, they're crying for me and all that, but the thing is, I don't really feel like going back or anything because I'm feeling really great here. And he asked me to please talk to his son because he had a gift for him. Um, because he wants him to feel that he is here, he is love, he is present, and that he can let go and not go into depression and not go into lack and loss and just live that loss right now, but he can let it go with the love that his recently deceased dad has to offer to him. And but the thing is, this young man is a bit resistant to that,
Mhm.
because of the fact that here on earth we're used to suffering.
Mhm.
And many people find it hard not to suffer. And though he doesn't know what it is that I have to share with him, because I said, please, I'd really like to be with you just for a short while because there's something your dad wants to share with you. And he just keeps on postponing and resisting. And so, how do I deal with that? Because I have
Mhm.
a kind of a, well, the first week was really thick. It was really kind of not stressful because I don't get stressed, but his dad was on my case,
Yes, yes.
please,
Come on,
please
come
get it,
on.
and I just said, look, I've done what I need to do. I've talked to him on the phone. I've sent him a message. I've asked my daughter to let him know. And so, you just have to deal with it. I can't make him come and receive your gift. And then after a few days, his dad just, okay, okay, it's okay. And now it's okay. So it's just those first few days, after the transition. And well, now I'm just waiting, and I have this incumbency, this thing to do whenever the time is right for his son, and that's fine. So it's also the reason why I'm sharing it. Who knows, he maybe will hear this session of ours. Anyway, the reason why I'm sharing it is that we need to really accept not only the requests we get from the other side, but also, and most of all, compassionately accept that each person here on this side has their own timing and their own rhythm, and we cannot force. And that we have to, that's where we draw our own boundary. This is to say that no matter how adamant the soul that has gone is about, please, 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 you have to, we are here. We are here in physicality. So we have to be the ones drawing the lines. We have to be the ones who know to set our clear boundaries. And the clear boundaries are with the souls here and with the souls that go. And everyone in between, including the ascended masters and whatnot. And that's why I'm also mentioning this. Sometimes we get a request from a larger body of consciousness, for the greater good of our evolution, obviously, ourselves. It's always we that benefit in the first place, always. But also because we have a certain kind of quality, a certain kind of capacity that is unique to us in the context that we have evolved through our unique set of experiences, because the combination of experiences is different for every single souled being, right? For every single human being. Let's just keep it with humans here right now. But okay, so every single human being is completely unique, because the set of experiences and the way they were perceived and transcended or whatever is different for every single one of us. So sometimes there will be a request for this or that, to transmit a certain whatever message, to do a certain thing, to be in a certain place, etc. And you get these, okay, why does it have to be me? Sort of thing. If it's something you don't really want to do. Like, oh no, come on, I don't, oh, how am I going to get past this and this and this and this? And then you just feel, you just sense the smiles, because of course for the ascended masters and angels and whatever, it's all very simple, right? Because of course there's no limitation. There's no limitation. So that is also for me, whenever I get one of those invitations, is okay, let me just, let it sink in. Let me breathe with that. And then sometimes I draw the line. Like sometimes I say, okay, this is as far as I go. And it's okay. And then whatever, But also another thing is, if you say yes and you go ahead and do whatever needs to be done within the context of whatever it is, and then it doesn't work out the way it was supposed to, also accepting that whatever steps you took, whatever energy you put into that, is being used and was useful for that purpose. So the thing here is playing with being human and accepting we are human, and therefore in physicality there are certain things that are more feasible or easier to achieve than others. Sensing what is comfortable for us, breaching our comfort zone for sure, so we don't go ahead and say no immediately, No, you let it sink in, you go ahead, and then just take it as it goes. See how you can do it, how you can achieve it. And this is also within when we get an invitation for our own lives, like, okay, now you're going to do this because this is going to change all of this, and now your life is going to become that. And then you look at the whole thing and said, holy moly, what is this? Okay, right. So then you have to take the steps, okay? Because you get the invitation from your essence, from your
But
divinity.
I just have the invitation. I have nothing past that invitation for what you and I are working with. All I have is, yes, you're making this change here.
Exactly.
And there's no,
There's
as a
no how
human,
you're gonna get it. You just get step by step,
or why,
one
or
step at a
why.
time.
Right. And I'd like to have some criteria laid out, but
Forget it. It's
well,
not gonna happen, right?
where is the financing? Where is this? What's the timing? What's the reason for it? And this is where trust comes in, Tanya.
Yeah.
This is where
Totally.
and for me, I have to sense, okay, this energy, this wisdom that has guided me out of the bowels of hell, it's the same wisdom that's saying, now I want you to make this change over here. Can I trust? And I have to ask myself, can I trust? It's like with this woman. I love this woman that I work with. I've known her for 14, 15 years. So I'm willing to do this for her mother-in-law that's passed, knowing full well that it could change our relationship. But I also know that this woman that I love, that I work with in human form, is very stuck. So maybe this will be a catalyst for her. I don't know. So I'm willing, because
there's
I
never
can't.
a why, right? There's
Right.
never the why. It's never
No.
answered.
But
Only when it's all achieved, then you know the why. But before, it's never answered.
So it's a trusting and allowing, because one, can I ignore her request that's passed? No. No. My heart says, it's like I'm working with this client and I love her dearly. And this relationship has gone from this to boom in her experience of this is what has happened in her life. And it's been shocking. And so I've had to change the criteria of how we work to honor this journey. So the mind of me wants, this is how you're supposed to do it, Serena, and we're going to write it down. I mean, seriously, I would love that. I really would. Because then I would know, okay, I'm doing it right. But I have to trust this intuition that just says, okay, this is how we're going to help this person on this journey. Can I trust this? And for me, it's an evolvement because I'm not fully realized, but I am becoming every single day, I'm coming more into who I am as this authentic being, loving myself so fully, discovering my strengths. This physicality that I live in is becoming my friend in a way I never knew. I've been doing Qigong, and it's so funny to do it with Joanna, and she's going like this and going like this with her hands, and I'm like, it's like chewing gum and walking at the same time for me, because my coordination is just, but it's more than it's ever been, because I continue to step out of the box to trust, to experience, to be. You see, there is no right or wrong. That's the biggest gift that I have. I know if I'm supposed to end up over here, let's say in September, I have to trust the journey breath by breath, moment by moment, and not have it written. And Norma would always ask me, can you have a blank piece of paper? And I'd look at her and go, I don't get what you're asking. Well, thank God I get that now. I get what it means to have a blank piece of paper. Do I love it all written out? Honestly, yeah, I do. But loving myself, knowing that allows me to have great compassion for everyone else who likes to have the
It
journey.
all
Okay,
written out. Hmm.
yeah, like Siri when she's telling you, okay, now in 200 yards, you're going to make a right hand turn. I got it. I like that, instead of going on
And
a
the
new
thing
path.
is, I believe that the greatest fear for every human when it comes to this merging with soul is precisely
Mhm.
knowing, even if a person still doesn't know, there's this knowingness, it's a blank page. But it's not a blank page just now and then it will be all written. No, 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 it's a blank page every single day. It's a blank
Yes,
page. It's a blank
yes,
page within the day.
yes, yes. I get up having no plan. People can't comprehend that. I just get up and I start to do my day from moment to moment. And can I trust? Because you see, I used to love hearing my soul's words telling me what to do, and this is what I was feeling, and all of those things. And now it's silence. And I'm okay with the silence. I wasn't for a long time, but now I am because the silence is who I am. Can I have my answer in the silence?
Yes.
Can everybody feel that? Feel
Mhm.
how comfortable are you with silence? I love it. It feels so good against my skin, inside my cells. Did I always love it? Hell no. No. I hated the silence. But I didn't like me either. So as I began to move the garbage out that had been keeping me stuck, and I discovered the brilliant human that I am, and I loved every aspect of me, the silence became my friend. Truly, it became my friend. Your turn.
Okay, so I'm going to invite everyone to just to really tap into this silence in this moment, to just really allow it, to just get comfortable with it. So that you can realize that the journey of being human is a journey of trust. Fully and completely, it is a journey of trust. And I've been sharing this month in my newsletter, and there's a my the enlightening stories that I write. So the story is precisely about living without ceilings. And why? Well, more than ever before, probably every single one of you is feeling that all of a sudden something is not there anymore. And that has probably created a bit more of a sense of being vulnerable, of being exposed. But the ceiling that has disappeared, or that you are invited to blow away. Now with extreme ease, it doesn't have to be hard. It's only hard if you resist it, because it's not supposed to be there anymore. So if you're feeling you have a ceiling bogging you down, you're putting it in place because the ceiling has been removed. The ceiling of separation has been removed. So now notice, why were we so accustomed to those ceilings? Maybe so that we wouldn't float away and all of a sudden no longer be humans or something like that. Well, not really. Basically, we created the ceiling of separation, which includes doubt, fear, anger, hopelessness, helplessness, and all of those things that we all know so well. We created all of those to keep us within the physical experience of duality so that we could experience more new things. So if you see them as new things rather than bad things, it's a completely different perspective. Okay, so those things that were new are no longer new because all of us here, for sure, have experienced them, right? Okay, so we don't need to keep on repeating the same old story all over again. That is what creates a kind of a ceiling. And why the fear of losing our ground? That fear is so funny because so there's this fear that if we allow the soul, the essence, to really take hold, that somehow we become at a loss. We don't know anything. We're in the unknown. And so we lose our ground. But in fact, what we lose is the ceilings and we gain the ground. Because you can only really ground with your essence. Please, please hear this. There is no way to be fully grounded without your whole self. So if you want to remain separate from that which eventually some people perceive as too big or too good to be true, as maybe I'm not worthy, this is such a brilliant self that I am not sure whether I can accept that I am that. There's so many different reasons, right? But as long as there are perceptions of separation, because the separation is no longer there, the veil has been removed. So as long as there are only now perceptions and beliefs, nothing else. So that's easy because now you only have to deal with yourself. Of course, each one has to deal with themselves. So there's a lot of people dealing with themselves at the moment with all of this challenge. If your essence, which is the one who chose to be human in the first place, or to come through the human experience in the first place, is not allowed to ground into this physical body, into this space, but which then gives you the notion that you are not bound and imprisoned here. You can only get that notion if the essence is really allowed to land here. So allowing that is not losing ground, it is grounding. It is losing ceilings.
Yes. Absolutely, Tanya. That's the key. Through the breath, being willing to surrender your belief systems, and you need to be conscious of, what do you believe? Do you believe, like you said, is my essence, my soul is too grand for me? Well, that's self-loathing. That's unkindness toward you. Those are all excuses that humans play, when in reality, through the breath, just this easy, casual, compassionate breath. And I say casual because when we make things grandiose, we make them so big, then we make them unattainable. But this breath that you do every day. Can you make it conscious? Can you make it intentional? You know, when I teach my clients how to do this breath, I tell them it's not about just doing it in the morning when you wake up. It's doing it throughout the day, bringing yourself back to here. So the more I've done this breath for the last, 27 years now, the more I've felt grounded within me, the more safe I feel, the more compassionate toward myself I am. You know, I look at pictures of me at 2015, 2016. I looked older then than I do now. You know, is it a difficult journey? Yes. And I don't bullshit people and tell them that it's not. Because you have to face yourself, your own fears, your own belief systems, what you've used to hide. This ceiling that you talk about, Tanya, is almost like a swaddling blanket that we put around the infant. That infant we wrap so tightly so they feel that confine like they did in the mother's womb. Well, now this ceiling is gone. Are you going to create fear so that you can create that artificial
That
ceiling?
artificial ceiling, yeah.
Yes. Or are you going to stay conscious of your thoughts? Be conscious of your actions. You know, when this woman came to me last week, did I expect her to say, I really need you to talk to her and my son? I left so suddenly I didn't get a chance to tell them. No, it was totally unexpected. This other thing that I'm being asked to do and create breath by breath, moment to moment, is so out of the box. Do I have a reason why? No. But when I stop, is this what I'm to do? And it resonates throughout my entire being, my cells, my bones, my muscles. And it's like this. I know, okay, I'm supposed to do this. You know, and you taught me such a profound lesson, Tanya. So you said, sit with this option and sit with this option. I'm going to say no to it and feel, what does it feel like in my body? And my body goes, you know, and fear is there. And then I sit with the option, the invitation from my higher consciousness, my blessed essence, and my whole being opens to it. It's so outside of this that I know, okay, I'm going to keep trusting. Do you think that Norma and I had any clue what we were doing? Now, I believed Norma did. I needed to believe that she knew it all. But she didn't. If she had, she may have run in the other direction to be
Oh, yeah.
real. Yeah. Seriously, Tanya, if they had said, okay, Norma, we need you to work with this lady and she's really screwed up. She's got over 300 personalities. She's not in her body at all. She doesn't know that her body is hers, her ears, her hands. They're totally belong to somebody else. And it's going to take you about 24 years and you're going to die at the end for her. Do you think Norma would have done that? She would have said, you know, I'm sorry, but I like my life the way it is. I'm not going to do this. I'm sorry. But instead, she had this passion that seemed to come out of nowhere. This passion to meet me step by step. This compassion, this love, this yes, that was so big that this was not involved. Do you have a passion? Do you have something that fills you so big? Breathe into it, open into it, dive into it. Open your heart to it, no matter how scary it is. No matter how big your no is from your mind. And every time you know your mind says no, Hand it over to your essence, your soul. Allow this change, this transformation to happen from a place of wisdom. You know, I have my clients say, but I don't know how to come out of numb. And I'll tell them, it's a breath at a time. Will you pay attention to what your mind is telling you? For it's an aspect that's so afraid. It truly is a magical journey. It's so far outside of the box of what we can imagine. Because imagination in truth comes from mind, and mind imagines from the past. But the imagination from higher consciousness,
Has no boundaries.
no, you can't conceptualize it. You can't.
Yeah, truly, truly. That's why I keep on saying that things that happen in my life, in my allowing, are things I could never have imagined.
Mm-hmm.
And it's over and over and over like that. No matter how many times the magic happens, it's always new the next time because I could never have imagined it. No
And
matter
it feeds
how
you.
often.
Yes, and it feeds that trust even more. It layers
Yes.
itself on top of each other, building this core strength within you, within me, within anybody who dares to do this journey. That level of connection, it's layers upon layers of, oh, well, it did work last time, didn't it? The doctor said I would never integrate.
Oh, yeah.
Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
So far outside of just integration, authentic living, loving, being. Your heart just fills, my heart fills, with saying that out loud because it helps me to go, oh, wow, thank you. Wow. And so I ask everyone, are you courageous enough to step out of your box, let go of the ceiling, find the true you?
And the good news is, as everyone here knows, but some have not fully experienced, you don't have to go anywhere to find it because it has already found you.
Yes.
Hmm.
That's the magic. It's not out there, it's inside. It's in your physicality, it's in your essence, your beingness. So many words for the same thing.
And just one last thing before, because we have to end in about 5 or 6 minutes. A thing that is, now that the ceiling in general is no longer there, also on a spiritual journey that we have gone throughout many lifetimes, we have mostly been trying to get out. We have mostly been trying, no matter what set of belief systems, no matter what religion, cult, practices, whatever, the thing was always releasing the body, relieving, even different, relieving ourselves from the body, relieving ourselves from being human, as if the body and humanness are the great burdens.
Mhm.
But that, and that's why we're here, still again and again, also is a form of separation. No matter how wise we were, and the ones that are here on earth right now saying the same thing are, can be gurus with loads of followers, can be whatever. It doesn't matter. If there is a rejection of the full and complete acceptance that we are here in physicality and we are human, though not only, that is the thing, we're not only. And we are not limited because we are not only. But it is not the body that creates a constraint towards knowing this. It is not humanness that creates a constraint towards knowing this. It is only the beliefs that we create around these things that limit us.
Yes.
So reconciliation, full and complete reconciliation with human form, is one of the essential steps to be taken right now. That there is no longer a heavy veil of separation clouding our knowingness.
Oh, so can you pay attention to your beliefs? Can you listen to them? Not judge them. They're keys. They're keys to your past, to aspects. They're the things that put you together again. The only reason that you experience yourself as a part of me wants to do this and a part of me doesn't want to do this is because you have lived a life of separation. So as you pay attention to your thoughts, you look at your beliefs, you reconcile and come back into you in a way that is so outside of anything you can imagine. For the compassion that you experience is a compassion that is exquisite. Norma used to say, can you take a breath like a sweet cookie when you bite into it and you just go, ah. For the breath is that. It's this sweetness. It feeds every soul of our body. Can you take the time to pay attention to you in every moment? It isn't self-obsession, it's freedom. Oh, what a journey it is, isn't it, Tanya?
It is, but it is so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It is a sublime journey.
Mm-hmm. And yes, parts of it are very hard. You know, when you come up against a part of you that's been wounded. But you know what? Your essence can fill you with the courage, the strength to face it from a place of compassion. It's been a treat today, my dear sister.
It has. Oh, I had such a feeling about today, about our sharing, because we haven't been communicating much, so that you could come into this full trust with yourself. And I'm so like, it's like a celebration of that, you know? Today is the celebration that, wow, yes, you can trust. And and if we can just share this gift with everyone, and if you can accept to trust for you, each one out there, oh my God, it's the best thing you can offer yourselves and everyone around you. Because a human that lives in complete trust isn't a burden and isn't boring to be around, and
No.
and isn't a pain in the neck or
No.
anything. It's just, it's a pleasure to be around people that are in trust, because there is a flow, there is a joy, there is a knowingness, there is an openness. And
There's an
even,
ease. There's an ease
yes,
because you don't need someone else, like my coworker, to be any different than she is.
exactly.
And they feel it. It's an authentic sense that another person will receive from you.
So give yourself this gift, and you will be giving everyone around you who is blessed by your presence this gift of this you that is trusting reunion, that is living it and experience it and discovering it moment to moment to moment to moment. It's always new.
I have to tell you, when you just said that, I saw you as and I on the sidelines with our pom poms, and we're in our cheerleader outfits. Yes, yes, go, go. You can do it too. Yes, yes, go, go. You can do it too.
Exactly. Because, it's not like we were born trusting.
Are you kidding? Are you
Totally
kidding?
not.
It took me years and years and years to trust Norma. God, no. So, yes. And with that note, we love you all.
And see you on the 5th of May. Do visit our websites. We've got loads of beautiful, yummy, wonderful things there to experience, both free and not, things that you can choose to embark on. And one thing that we must not forget, because we haven't shared this, we have the Ultimate Freedom experience coming up in September. I think it's 18th, 19th, 20th, 21, and 22nd of September, where Serena, me, and Joanna do provide this joint experience that we don't need to explain. It's called Ultimate Freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Feel it, sense it, look at it. It's on my website.
So we offer 3 different, very unique energy packages, all of them coming
United
together as one. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Ada, that you will choose trust. Yay! Yay!
Yay!
Yay! And
Ada.
so we have a few more comments here.
Oh.
Thank you, Gregor. Thank you all.
Hello, Monica. Until later in May, maybe it won't be snowing. It's snowing here today.
Well, here it's not.
Yeah. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.